to talk about something that has probably happened to you more times than you can count. See, you may have walked out of a meeting, you finish a conversation, you leave a room, and well, something feels off, right? Not dramatically off, not obviously wrong, just, well, off. And you can't explain it. Nothing bad technically happened, nothing said, anything obviously wrong, but something shifted. And well, you felt it. So you do what most people do. You try to logic your way out of it. Maybe I'm overthinking. Nothing actually happened, really. I'm probably just tired. I don't want to seem paranoid. And well, you start pushing it down. You move on. And that feeling sits there quietly underneath everything else for the rest of the day. Sounds familiar? Yeah, you're not alone. I want you to know something before we go any further. You are not overthinking. You are not too sensitive. And well, you are definitely not paranoid. Your body caught something real. And today I'm going to give you the science behind what that actually is. Because once you understand this, you would never dismiss that feeling again. All right, let's start at the beginning. Your brain is not one system. It's multiple systems running simultaneously, and they don't all work at the same speed. Psychologists call this dual processing theory. Write that down. This is when your conscious mind, the analytical, logical part of you that's listening to me right now, is slow. It needs evidence, it needs context, it needs time to process information before it accepts it as real. But your nervous system operates completely differently. It's fast. It doesn't wait for evidence. It runs on pattern recognition. And it has been collecting data on people and situations, well, your entire life. Every room you've walked into, every conversation that felt uncomfortable, every relationship that drained you, every time someone's words didn't match their behavior. Every moment something felt fine on the surface but didn't sit right underneath. Your nervous system was present for every single one of those moments. And it didn't just experience them, it filed them. So by the time you're sitting in that meeting or having that conversation, well, your nervous system has decades of pattern recognition data to pull from. And when something breaks, well, that pattern, even slightly, even subtly, your nervous system flags it immediately before your conscious mind has even registered that something has actually happened. That flag, that's what you feel in your body. Behavioral science has a name for it, and it's called somatic awareness. You see, somo means body in Greek, and somatic awareness is exactly what it sounds like. Your body's ability to detect and communicate information before your conscious mind processes it. This isn't a new concept. Matter of fact, researchers have been sharing this for decades. Bessel van der Kolk, write that down, one of the most important researchers in trauma and body based psychology. Well, he spent his career documenting how the body processes social and emotional information before we have the language for it. His work showed us something that completely reframes the way we understand our instincts. Because you see, the body is not just reacting to the environment, the body is reading the environment constantly, accurately, and often faster than we can consciously keep up with. So when you feel this tightness in your chest after a meeting, that's not a random physical sensation. That is your body communicating information to your brain. You see, when you feel uneasy after our conversation, that seemed totally normal. That's not anxiety spiraling. That is somatic awareness doing exactly what it's designed to do. Now, here's where it gets really important because there is a critical difference between somatic awareness and anxiety. And I need you to understand this distinction because Conflating the two is one of the most common ways we talk ourselves out of information that could actually help us. Because these anxiety loops, it circles back on itself even without like ever landing anywhere. It asks the same questions over and over. What if, without giving you an answer. It amplifies without clarifying. It grows without resolving. Somatic awareness lands. It points at something specific. It's directional. It's trying to show you something real. It has information attached to it. The feeling is the same: unease, discomfort, tension, but the source is different. And the response needs to be different too. The work is to regulate the nervous system, to ground yourself, to interrupt the loop. But with somatic awareness, the work is to get curious, to follow the feeling, to ask what it's pointing at. And the way to tell the difference, well, anxiety loops without landing. Somatic awareness, well, that lands. You don't know the words yet. So, what do you do when you feel something and you're not sure what it is? This is what I call psychoeducational coaching. This is taking what behavioral science already knows and giving you something practical to do with it. So, here are three questions I want you to ask yourself every time something feels off and, well, you can't explain it. First, what specifically felt different? Not the whole interaction, not the entire meeting or conversation. Go smaller. One moment, one shift, one thing that felt, well, out of place. Because something always breaks the pattern first. A tone that changed, a word that landed wrong, a reaction that maybe didn't match the moment, okay? A silence that felt too long. I want you to go back and find that one thing, because that's where the information lives. Secondly, what exactly when did I feel it? Okay. The timing tells you everything. Was it something that was said? Was something that wasn't said? A response that came a second too late? A smile that didn't reach their eyes? A subject that got changed right when it was getting important? Pin the exact moment the feeling started. Because that moment, that precise point where something shifted, is your data. Your nervous system flagged it for a reason. Your job is to find out what that reason is. Thirdly, what changed before the feeling hit? Something different. All right, okay? Think about it. Think back to the moment right before the unease started. What was the energy like? What was being discussed? What was present? What shifted? Because something always changes before the feeling arrives. A dynamic shift, a power moved. Something that was normal suddenly wasn't. Find what changed, because that's where your answer is. Now, here's what I want you to understand about these three questions. You may not be able to prove what you find. You may not be able to point to it and say definitively, this is what happened. And that's okay. Because the goal of the exercise isn't to build a legal case. The goal is to close the loop between what your body already knows and what your conscious mind is still trying to catch up to. Okay? Because once you can name it, even loosely, even imperfectly, something shifts. You stop second guessing yourself. You stop dismissing the feeling to make other people more comfortable. And you stop calling yourself crazy for something your body already knew was real. You start feeling clear. And clarity, walking into a room knowing exactly what you're reading, is one of the most powerful things you can carry with you. I want to leave you with this. Your instincts are not the problem. They never were. The problem is that nobody taught you how to trust them, how to read them, how to use them as the data they actually are. Your body has been trying to tell you something. It's time to start listening. That's psychoeducational coaching. Science you can actually use. Subscribe if this resonated with you because there's more coming.